Hello, this is Talkaoke. We're just about to start. If you don't know what it is, it's a pop-up talk show. You simply talk into this microphone, come and take a seat, be the first person to come and sit down. Please do, yes. Although you may lose the honour of being the first person. Too late. Okay, so thank you for coming out. So this is Talkaoke. Some of you may know, some of you may not know. This is the pop-up talk show. It's up to you to decide what you want to talk about. So who are these early people on the table? Let's get some names. What's your name?
Asha. Naz.
Tim and
Rick.
Rick, welcome Rick. So this is Talkaoke. My name's Mikey. Anyone else want to come and take a seat on the table of chat? You're very welcome to. Yes, that's you. Come and have a seat. We don't have a subject yet. Anyone got a subject that they want to get this going with? A subject they want to start this off with?
Are you filming this?
Yes, we are.
Oh.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
The more drinks you have, the more it makes sense. And you're like, why is this not being filmed? Okay, we've got a subject to start this off with. Anything to actually get this going with? Any thoughts, comments, observations?
The crazy weather. Why it's so hot and then it goes so cold and you don't know what to take out and
Okay.
you know.
All right.
Because I took a umbrella today, a big jacket,
Yeah.
then a thin jacket. I don't know what's gonna happen. So
Yeah, well,
you know, and there's only so much that the weather apps can tell you.
Yeah. I mean, I'm slightly regretting.
The heater on last night because I'm feeling chilly.
I'm regretting wearing shorts in this, but that's why I'm trying to get people to come and sit around.
Just what happens in autumn. You have no idea what the weather's going to do.
That's just what happens. That's just what goes down.
Yeah.
It's not crazy weather, it's normal weather.
Well, for September, yeah.
They've got like the pumpkin spice latte out.
Pumpkin spice latte.
And the bonfire latte or whatever they call it. I was like, whoa, pumpkin spice is back.
Okay, what
Yeah,
is
so I
any
know
particular?
it's officially autumn now.
Once the pumpkin spice latte comes, that is the first. It used to be the browning of the leaves. Now it's the.
It's a pumpkin spice. They've got actually an iced pumpkin latte now because of the weather. It was so hot.
Okay, so that way you kind of
It just
can
kind of
cover all
defeats,
bases.
like, you know, the whole point.
Okay, so what actually it does represent the coming of autumn? Is it the
smell in the air.
Is it the smell in the air? Is it the pumpkin spice? Tim, have you got any thoughts on this?
The weather, the cold, you know.
Yeah.
In the last 2 months, you know, you see really hot. Autumn goes like straight down, cold.
Yeah. Are you feeling autumnal? Are you still feeling summery?
Sorry, what?
Are you feeling autumnal? Right now, come and take a seat.
I will. I
Need to take a photo first. Okay. Come on, let's all like. Okay.
So yeah, I feel autumn.
Yeah, you're feeling autumnal. Okay, so we got Tim, we've got Naz, we've got Asha, we've got Rick. I'm Mikey. What's your name?
I'm GQ. Hello, everyone.
Hello. GQ. Were you named after the magazine?
No, everyone asks me that. No, it's just
No.
a nickname, actually.
Okay.
My name is Adrian, but
Okay, you know what? On Talkaoke, you can be whatever or whoever you want to be. So you can be GQ, and in a way, it's not down to me. I've already broken some of the rules of Talkaoke by asking whether you're named after the magazine. Anyway, what's your name?
I'm Simona.
Simona, welcome. So we've got GQ, we've got Asha, we've got Naz, we have got Tim, and we've got Loretta.
And Salim.
Salim and Rick. Getting a lot of love, Loretta, if it can be interpreted in that. So we just started off. We've kind of got subjects. It's a bit of a kind of starting subject, really. We're talking about the weather. Classic, exactly.
Because I don't want politics right now.
You don't want to talk about politics?
No.
Why?
No, because it always goes to politics and housing and war and I just can't.
You don't want to talk? Okay.
Yeah.
People may or may not respect your opinions on that one. Yep.
Because they already the crosses they was thinking about other prime minister. I think they sort out themselves. We cannot talk about them. Leave them out.
Okay. So you don't think it's worth talking about? Will there be another prime minister next week?
They go crazy.
No politics. Okay, we'll park that one. We'll park that one for when you nip into the loo. We'll ask it then. We didn't get your name. Or did we? Salim, we did. We did get your name. But we didn't get your chips. I think that was more the point. Okay, so where do we want to go with this? We're autumnal, the not wanting to talk about politics, something else, the car alarm going off, is it the crime in the city? Where do we want to go with this? Any thoughts, GQ? Have you got any thoughts?
I'm just wondering what this is. Do you do this? How often do you do this?
Okay, how often do we do this? Well, here once a month, because we're based just next to Perfect Fried Chicken.
How long you was doing it? That's what he want to know.
Okay,
How long
22 years I've been doing this, sitting in the middle of this table.
This is custom made.
This is the 7th table of the series, so I've been doing it a long time. What's her Instagram, Rick? The people speak.
_ people speak.
The _ people speak. We're the _ people speak.
There's a lot of the people speak, so
Yeah,
that's why
yeah.
we're the under.
We're the _ people speak. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. I mean, have we got any sort of anything with a bit more bite than autumn, or has autumn got enough bite?
I'd start the conversation.
Yeah, no, you've done well. You have done well.
What you talk about?
Cold.
Oh, that's Nas talk about herself. But what we want to talk about?
She wants
Yeah.
to talk
What do you
about
want to talk
Something fun and close to summer. It's the winter is here.
I mean,
You look
I don't know. For me, I mean, it's not really down to me to put, as I said already, to put my thing in. But I'm not ready to succumb to autumn.
Yeah,
I'm still summer mode. Look, shorts.
I have a statement. We're way too sober for this. Way too sober, honestly. Like, if we do
should
this
try
like
doing this in
10
Dubai.
drinks after, it will be really fun.
Do we need booze to actually? You say no, Celine?
No, booze.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I do have one. I have one, but that's all I'm gonna drink, man. Alcohol's a poison, remember?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
an
it's a
intoxicant.
poison. Yeah.
It is, but it's a fun poison.
Okay. I mean, do we need booze in order to actually come and have a seat? You're the. Yeah, you can bring your cigarettes. You can. Do we need booze? Is that why we happen to do this in a pub?
He's the customer.
I'm the customer. Look, I want some chat for my pint. Do we need booze to talk? Is that
I
what?
think if we did Talkaoke halfway through by people were getting drunk, it would not get the whole conversation. You know, people would just come
Yeah.
in and you'd already start at like a kind of low point because everyone would be kind of half drunk already.
So in a way, it's about that transition.
Yeah, exactly,
In a way,
yeah.
isn't it? From the very sober, polite,
Okay,
all the way through.
I've got a topic.
Yeah.
Hobbies. What do you guys like? What do you guys do in your free time?
Okay, I'm gonna turn the mirror back to you.
All right.
You ask the question.
You know what?
You don't have any free time, or you don't have any hobbies?
I don't know where to begin. I'm
You've
a
got a
chill
lot of
guy. You know, I go out,
Yeah.
have a drink with friends, go out for food, cinema, going out a lot.
So your hobby
Try.
is drinking, basically. And
No, it's going out. It's going out with friends. You know,
Yeah.
twisting my words.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
preparing.
Is that the pastime of the moment, drinking, or is it just that we've magnetized those people? Any pastimes? Do you have pastimes?
I've been going to the gym again, which is what I
Yeah.
love doing. I stopped doing that when I came here because I was like, I gotta do everything in London. I was like, I got tired because you know what I figured? The funny thing is, so drum and bass and dubstep was like originated here, and I was very into the rave scene like many years ago in the United States. And I came back here and I was like, I have to go see what's going on.
Yeah.
After a year, I'm like, it's the same thing.
Right.
It's like the same fucking thing.
So
But
you
like
got
it's
bored- you got
it's way
bored of it?
different. Yes, I'm very bored of going out now, and I'm going back to like I'm going back. It's like it's fun, but it's the same but different. But it's still the same thing where it's like you go out, you spend way too much money.
Right.
It's very unfulfilling in the end. Although like I got into
What
the
would make it more fulfilling?
Well, I mean, you have community, you have connection, you have all of that, but I remember I got really deep in that scene in the United States, and even
Yeah.
here it's still the same but different. It's just way too many drugs, a lot of lost souls, and it's a very good place for people to find themselves. But I'm past that. I'm good.
Right,
I already found
okay.
what I needed. But I'm back to I play PUBG, Counter Strike, video games.
Right.
Go to the gym. About it. No.
Okay.
Play with my kitten. I got a kitten. It was really nice.
Okay. So there's 3 there. Hobbies.
I envy you. I used to play a lot of computer games, but I haven't got the time for that now.
Yeah.
Hobbies at the moment: football,
Yeah.
and music.
Yeah.
Listening to music.
Okay. Come and have a seat on the table of chat. We're talking about what do you do in your spare time? Anything?
Play Fortnite.
A fortnight. That's what we've just been. Yes, come and have a seat, come and get involved. We have got Naz, we have got GQ, we've got Simona, we've got Rick, we have got Tim, we've got Loretta, Salim. Come and have a seat, give us a couple of minutes. Tell us what, we're talking about hobbies at the moment, what are your pastimes? Hang on a sec, Salim, I'm doing the call out to the people. And I'm going around.
Be wary of that.
This side, GQ?
I haven't got much spare time lately, so whenever I have some, I go out drinking, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's one of
drinking
my
seems to-
hobbies too. I do find it essential. Like even before joining the table,
Yeah.
I just kind of needed this. I don't
Okay.
know. Not needed, but you know, it just helps, I guess.
I think drinking
It's
seems to
like-
be the biggest hobby.
It's a social thing, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
you know, but
Yeah.
The UK needs to legalize cannabis, and so we can just be smoking a joint legally out here.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody smokes anyways. Why the hell not just legalize it? It's dumb.
Okay.
good subject.
That's a
What's
good-
going on with that? Huh?
Okay. Do you agree? Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think people should be allowed to do it. You know, like we got examples of other countries where it's
Yeah.
legal. You know, Canada's just taking it on as well, and it's
Yeah.
not actually affecting people. You know, and when it comes to like economy, I think it would actually help the country.
Okay.
Rather than
Spending less money on putting
Let's find out what other people think about this. Legalize cannabis.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Simple.
Yes.
Yes.
Never done weed, but yeah, why not?
Yeah. You've never done it.
No.
Is it because it's illegal?
No. No. You're in UK, nothing's illegal. No, just never had a chance.
Right. Okay. That's the fair. What do you think? Legalize marijuana?
I agree with it. It's got medicinal properties, and
Yeah.
I don't think it's that much of a bad drug to be
Okay.
illegal.
So, anyone disagree with this, Rick?
No, I agree with it as well. Yeah, I could
Yeah.
try and play devil advocate, but I have no argument.
Yeah.
In London, you can't especially in London, East London. You go anywhere, you're like, who's smoking? Like, anyway.
Why is it?
you know the smell, right?
It was the United States that started the war on drugs in the whole Reagan era, and everybody followed suit because of NATO and all that shit. And then, like,
Yeah.
now we're figuring out it's like, this isn't working. And there's a lot of people who invested a lot of money in the prison industrial complex because there's human beings that have money invested in private prisons. So the more people that are incarcerated,
Yeah.
the higher the stocks are.
Yeah. Okay. Asha, should we legalize marijuana?
No,
Why? Everyone on the table says yes. we
because
should.
the kids lost their mind.
Yeah, but that I
No,
think the
no, no, no.
argument is that we would have more of a view on it. More.
No,
You think it's a
No.
we need to tighten it up?
no,
Yeah.
no.
So definitely, that's a definite no.
No, listen. If somebody can take the brain, they can take it. Some kids they cannot take the brain, and they go crazy.
Yeah.
And they're killing themselves. I'm not agree with that.
Okay.
That's it. I'll come back for you.
All right. We've got kids.
Whenever I get depressed, I smoke a joint.
Yeah.
But that's why I think legalizing would actually help. Then kids wouldn't really have access to it, and then
Yeah.
the thing that they would actually get would be somewhat, I don't know, checked. It would be probably
Yeah.
a better product.
Okay. So
I'm
would it
thinking,
actually help the question of kids going crazy and killing themselves, as Asha says? Hang on a sec, Salim.
Some people,
Yeah.
smoke marijuana, to relax a little bit, even at work. Artists smoke and do other drugs to get more inspired.
Yeah.
But it's
Are you an artist?
no, I'm not.
No? Is that because you're not doing enough drugs?
I don't do any.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So this is an interesting point that.
Technically, yes. Yeah.
This is an interesting point that artists use drugs in order to.
Even in technology, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
70%. I work for a tech company. I'm an IT engineer. 75-8% of the company all smokes weed. If they
Right.
tested for that, everybody would be fired.
Yeah.
It's like I'm telling
So
you, like
there wouldn't
everybody,
be a
all these
company.
software engineers, some of the most intelligent people who are technical as hell.
Why are
they
they
smoke
smoking so much weed?
because it relaxes them and they don't get hung over in the morning and like
Yeah.
they just there's a multitude of
Yeah.
applications for it. And honestly, for me, the only time I've ever felt so depressed I even thought about it was when I was drunk.
Right. Okay.
Alcohol was the one. Like the only
Okay.
time I've ever alcohol has been connected indirectly or directly to almost every shitty thing I've done in my life. Like
Okay.
somehow cannabis. I'm like I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go to sleep and eat some food. Like
Okay. All right. So, in Salim's company, if you fired everyone that smoked weed, there wouldn't be a company left. What?
growing up,
Yeah.
it was easier to get weed than it was alcohol. Because alcohol, you had to go to the ABC and find someone who was 21 to get it. It was easier to get weed than hard alcohol.
Right, okay.
We always had to find someone who was 21. Weed was just easy.
Okay.
It's legal. If it would have been legal, it would have been hard to get it.
Yeah.
And that's probably a good thing. You know, responsible people could get it, and you know.
Yeah. Okay. So
irresponsible
would it make it more the chain of supply more responsible if it was legalized? You say yes.
Hopefully, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
You know. It,
United States, I don't mean to hijack it, but in the United States, so there's an opiate epidemic. There's more people dying every single day than the AIDS epidemic right now because of overdoses on prescription medication that are based on opiates, basically pharmaceutical heroin. And in the states that legalize cannabis medicinally, not even recreationally, over a 10-year period, they did a double-blind study. It was a legit study from an accredited university, not some BuzzFeed article bullshit.
Yeah.
They found a 25% decrease in overdoses. That means that there was 1 in 4 less deaths of opioid overdoses. And if you expand that up to the whole population, you're talking tens of thousands of people because they can take drastically less medications because they combine cannabis with their pain regime. Like anesthesiologists can be like, hey, you take, even now you see CBDs in combination with other medications, you have your dosage. So you don't have people doing that.
Okay, so we're talking about legalizing marijuana. Should we legalize marijuana? Come on, have a seat. GQ, any thoughts on this? Simona, what do you think about it? You've not said much about it, do you?
No, I agree with everything that's been said.
Yeah.
And that's definitely you would be able, like if there would be like a tax revenue that would come, so everyone would be able to benefit. You would be able to invest that money into some like helping the
So use the tax for some kind of like
social programs or educational programs just to support.
Yeah.
Tax it the same way as alcohol. Don't punish people for it.
Okay, don't overtax it, says GQ.
Yeah, totally. Why
no, I think taxes should be all the same from my point of view when it comes to like substances that change your behavior. I think alcohol and weed could kind of be pretty much the same.
Yeah,
that's how
is it a similar thing? What about the kids going crazy that Asher was talking about?
Yeah, I mean, I think it would just happen less because there will be someone to actually regulate the product. That's my opinion.
Regulate access to there would be someone to regulate access and regulate the quality of the product as well.
It's like kind of addiction. So like when you discover something new, like when you discover alcohol, you get drunk. When you're young, you get drunk loads, basically. So then you get older and you sort of slow down. Well, normally slow down a little bit. Not everyone does, but so maybe that's similar thing with the drugs. Kind of.
Okay, we've got a whole half a table of new faces. Come and get involved in this. Come and join in. We have got GQ, we've got Simona, we've got Rick, we've got Celine, we've got Loretta. What's your name?
Aaron.
And what's your name?
Molly.
Molly and
Mark.
Mark and I'm Mikey. At the moment we're sort of talking about, we kind of like stumbled on this subject. It's an age-old one, which is just about should we be legalizing marijuana? There's a lot of kids around here. You walk down the street, you just walk through clouds of smoke. Should it be actually a legal thing? Obviously, the prohibition's not working. That's where we're at right now. But there's a few different kind of elements to this. Salim's mentioned that in the States in America where it's legal, actually overdoses of opioids have gone down by a huge amount. And then Tim's mentioned that maybe as well this could be an inspiration for artists. That's what we're talking about at the moment. Any thoughts on this side?
You want some of my chips, dude?
Oh, definitely. Okay, well let me grab one. But someone else needs to talk. What about on this side? Tell us, any thoughts on this side?
Yeah, pretty much. I think it's kind of a no-brainer that it doesn't really. Exactly. Kind of like a victimless crime. It doesn't really seem to. I don't know. It just seems to cause more problems than it's worth keeping it illegal. You might as well just legalize it.
Why is it still illegal? Because I think we've only had one person in this whole discussion that's kind of said, no, let's keep it legal. Why is it still illegal?
An old generation that's on its way out. That old dogs learn new tricks hard. It's old generation that's on its way out. They're still in power.
So the older generation don't see it that way? Is that what it is? You agree?
Oh yeah, all ideas, all people.
But okay, so this is a question: Is it going to be the case that when we get older, we'll just become like that, or we will grab the mic? Tim?
Sorry, thanks.
Chips.
The old generation used to be like really strict.
Yeah.
So the way they were raised, like really disciplined, and the ideas were kind of hardwired into their heads, right? Do you agree? Nice. So by every new generation, we become less and less strict, so more relaxed, more open-minded.
Right.
But
we don't work as hard.
But these old strict generations are still there, and then they're the ones that are deciding what's to be legal or illegal. So far, in a few years, the new generation will take over, and things will change. I think. I assume so.
So basically, things will change. We're just waiting for those older people to
The really interesting thing is that this is a new thing in the 20th century. For thousands of years, cannabis was used. Even here, Queen Victoria used it for her menstrual cramps. That there was not a problem ever until the war on drugs materialized. And it was a United States thing. You know, we kind of fucked that up. And then people were straight up like. There's like this commercial that's like, this is your brain on drugs. Marijuana destroys your brain. Everybody's just like, oh my God, I'm destroying my brain. Alcohol is good. Everything else is bad. It's like, it's brainwashed. So I think that it's just a lot of people that were kind of seduced or convinced of that, and they're just like, I don't know. But at the same time, prohibition of anything almost doesn't ever work. What was the first prohibition? It was the prohibition of knowledge. If you really want to go to Christianity or whatever, like, and it was Adam and Eve, right, where they couldn't eat the apple was of knowledge. Prohibition of knowledge. But you didn't read that failed, right?
Prohibition started with God and Adam and Eve.
I'm not religious, but I'm just saying.
But
that's like an example, right?
What do other people think? Would they Adam and Eve this? I mean, you know, does prohibition everywhere?
Do you think Adam and Eve smoked?
That's how they got hungry and they ate the apple.
Smoke it and you're like...
Okay, Molly, any thoughts on this? I mean, does prohibition ever work? Should everything be legal? Everything be free?
No.
No, you say no. Okay.
But I mean, I feel like marijuana is not that harmful.
Yeah.
I don't know. Up
Okay.
against other things.
It's kind of okay.
It is harmful in a bit.
It's a bit harmful.
It is, man.
Like everything shouldn't be legal, but like
Yeah.
might as well give some.
I mean, where do you stand on Salim's point about this prohibition doesn't work? What's that?
I'm just thinking, why shouldn't everything be legal?
Yeah.
And then it's about education and personal choice. And you know, if you wanna like kill yourself by heroin, go for it. It's your personal choice as long as it's an educated choice.
Right.
And instead of, you know, again, spending money on stopping people, on like arresting people and all that, just spend money on educating people, like, and then they can have their choice.
Okay.
Or even if there's certain things that aren't necessarily legally available through some sort of retailer, it shouldn't be treated as a criminal justice problem. People are sick. They shouldn't be like, oh, you go to prison, because then they get even more fucked up. They can't get a job, then they have to join a gang. It should be like, okay, Portugal has done a pretty good job where it's like, okay, look,
You've done a lot of research into this.
It's been a big issue for me. It's like somewhere that I've smoked weed for a long time in the States. So it's like now it's like everybody's like, oh my God, this is a great thing. It's like, what have you been trying to tell you for a long time? It's like there's people out there who are legit sick. I had friends of mine who I've lost who they went to rehabs and they were drinking Listerine because they were just fucking sick. Like they just could not handle reality. Whatever you did, they would do something. They would be like cramming down cough medicine. Like it doesn't matter what they.
So the addiction wasn't necessarily about a substance. It was about them being sick inside.
Yeah, they're depression problems, and it's just like there's people who are legitimately sick and they treat them like criminals, and then it's just a never-ending cycle.
Okay, so what do people think about that? Are we kind of treating addiction in the wrong way by criminalizing it when it's a kind of an illness? What do you think? No matter what you're addicted to, I'm kind of addicted to Facebook, but you know, I'm not being treated. What do people think?
It's not a criminal offense yet, you know.
No, it's not criminal offense.
It's gonna be. You're soon gonna be into like rehab, and you know you're gonna be tied up to a bed. And,
Kids who are going to camps because they're addicted to video games, like legit, they're binging for 18 hours a day. They're just like not doing anything. It's like everything in moderation, right?
Okay. Tim, you look like you're about to say something.
Well, others make money by that. Others make money by playing video games all day long.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so we can actually make money from our own addictions.
I mean, yeah, you just open up a bar, right?
Loretta, what do you think about any of these things? Should everything be free and unprohibited?
No, I do believe that some substances should be illegal because it's for the protection of people who go that way.
Like what?
Like heroin and crack. I don't think they should be illegal. I think they should be illegal. Yeah.
Okay, so heroin, crack, maybe keep that.
Why do you think that? Well, even magic mushrooms they're making more legal everywhere. But it's like, why do you think psychedelics were illegal? It doesn't. But like. It's like, well, why? Does it make people think too much? Like, there's certain people who might have predisposed mental illnesses, but like what? Like,
so you think psychedelics should definitely be legal?
I would say decriminalized. I don't think you should be able to just go to a store to get LSD because I don't think
Give us a final thought before you go. Sorry, Salim, I can interrupt him because he'll just keep talking around. The final thought.
On what?
Well, whatever you're thinking.
On prohibition.
Whatever.
Make an informed decision and make it yourself.
Okay, so don't leave it down to the government. It's up to you to decide what you put in your...
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. All right, well, that wraps that one up. Where do we want to go from here? Tim.
Funny thing, we started with the question, what are your hobbies? And we ended up with drugs. How did it happen?
Is taking drugs a hobby?
No.
No? Come on, well, I mean, especially if you're going on a sort of trip or something like that.
Yeah, no, I'm saying it is for some people.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so it can be a hobby, but maybe not the kind of hobby we want to...
Check this out.
Yeah.
If you like going to the pub, you're taking drugs, and if that's your hobby, it's what it is. Don't get it twisted. People say drugs and alcohol, but it's like saying fuel and gasoline, or fuel and petrol. It's the same thing. It's like somehow we have this weird culture. It's like you're separating. Like, oh, alcohol's not a drug. Well, it's an intoxicant. It's a fucking drug. You can overdose on it. What do you think alcohol poisoning is?
So going to the pub is like taking drugs for a hobby. Is basically what you're saying. Yeah, you think that's far-fetched? Okay.
I don't think.
Salim, hang on.
I really don't see it as being far-fetched. It's just our perception that's like, the way that we've been brought up to believe that alcohol is different to drugs. But in the end, it has the same. It's addictive. It has the same properties. It's addictive. It's harmful.
It can be a hobby.
It can be a hobby.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it has the same properties as the drug. So as the substances that we classify as being drugs. So.
Yeah. So you think it's all pretty much.
And the way it's been socialized, right? It's okay to go to the pub and all get pissed every day. Like in London, it pretty much happens. Like I've got people to go to to a pub every single day. Imagine like all going to a coffee shop and having a blunt. You know what I mean?
Every day.
That would be probably like the equivalent of pubs if you think about it. And I don't think it would actually even happen that often as going for a pint.
Yeah.
Just because it's been so standardized.
So in a way, we're kind of socially pressured.
We're okay to just have beer. Come on, light up one. It's
Okay. I mean, I don't feel too bad about being. I mean, is it the same sort of thing? Or will we then be socially pressured into going to the coffee shop to smoke a huge blunt every afternoon?
I think that's a personal choice. If you are somebody who is so easily influenced, I don't know. That's not my problem. Like, if you are so easily influenced like that, you're the kind of person that's just going to be like everybody else is doing it. But it's a personal choice, and I'm not chastising alcohol. I'm clearly drinking. It's just we have to understand what it is.
Well, you've dwelt on that pint of Guinness.
Well, you got to understand what it is, and it's just. It should be a personal choice. I do believe that. At least there's great. I do agree that you shouldn't be able to just get heroin or crack or anything like that. It's just no. But like cannabis, coffee, caffeine's a drug. Like alcohol, it's just moderation. Yeah.
I mean, have we got too much of a kind of like, I don't know, what's the word? Kind of Puritan attitude to all of these drugs, be it alcohol or marijuana or crack or heroin. Should we be a bit more sympathetic and embracing to all of these things?
Well,
I mean, that goes down to the whole treat it like a medical problem rather than a criminal problem. Then everything would change. The attitudes would change.
It should be a medical problem.
Yeah.
Okay. We're talking about legalizing marijuana. Should it be done? What do you think, kids? Should we do it?
No, they're gonna go and have one, so you know.
Come and get involved in this, man with a hat. Yeah, I know he's called Gary. I know he's Matt. Anyway, yeah.
From behind.
So I mean, are we being a bit too puritanical about all of this? Should we? We're talking about legalizing marijuana. What do you think? Just.
Oh, I'm very interested.
Yeah. No, I mean, most people have said yes, but I mean, the debate on the table is more like how far it should go. Should it just be like decriminalizing, treating drug addiction as a medical issue, or should it be like full on everything's free and legal? Why are we prohibiting anything at all? So we've got Tim, we've got Loretta, we've got Salim, we've got Rick, Simona, GQ. I'm Mikey. Tell us your name.
I'm Oscar.
Oscar, welcome. So that's what we're talking about at the moment. I don't know if you've got any views straight off the bat. If you want to go and get yourself a drink and come back, or what's the story?
I can. So the story is obviously the big pharma is trying not to make us, not to have it legalized because it's a natural medicine, and there we go. So that's my.
So you think it's the drug companies stopping us from imbibing?
Well, there is obviously a rich history about substances, and it's not as straightforward as I just said, obviously. But right now, I think that's the.
I mean, we heard from Salim earlier on about the drug companies pushing the opioids. So why did they not embrace marijuana? Why did they not kind of push that? As the, if they are so concerned,
maybe it's too easy to grow it yourself at home in your garden.
It's a bit too much of an easy drug. Whereas, has anyone tried to grow opium poppies? Anyway, but we'll see you in a second. I don't know. I mean, are we? I don't know. Are we moving into? Is it just a question of, like, as Tim says, moving through the generations, and we will inevitably have a more liberal view on this?
Definitely. Yeah, it's definitely going to happen. Like, well, even Boris was saying that within 10 years at most, UK is going to legalize, cannabis.
Is that why he wants to leave the EU?
Yeah, just to have it for his. Just for himself,
Yeah, I mean, is this our Brexit plan?
I do feel like it's such a unique 20th century thing that they found cannabis to be an easy target. Remember in the 60s, the hippie movement, they're like, oh, they all smoke weed. What do we go after? Let's just make cannabis illegal. Let's make it illegal. We can go after them, get them all in jail. Like, let's keep on doing the wars, right? Let's keep on doing what we're gonna do and like beat them down. Like,
so it's more like the smoking weed was making everyone into hippies, and they weren't ready.
Well, not even that. It was the weed. That's what they wanted to make you believe. I think that it was just an easy target because they figured like that's something that we can make it us versus them. One of the 48 laws of power, there's a book, is exaggerate the differences between you and the enemy. Like find
48 laws of power.
Yeah, there's a book called 48 Laws of Power by, I forget the author, but one of them is find the differences between you and the enemy and exaggerate them. So if you have a group of people that you're like, we don't like them, find it something, exaggerate the differences, and then like go after that.
Right. Okay.
I feel like it was a power move, and then like the war on drugs. It's like, and also there was the military-industrial complex in the United States. Find another war. Find something else to pour money into it, right?
Okay, so it's just another war to have. Yeah. I'm not going to ask you what the other 47 rules of power.
Just Google it.
Yeah. Any of them obvious and straightforward? Okay, I'll come back to you on that one. Where do we want to go with this conversation? Do we want to talk about the power? Do we want to talk about drugs? Do we want to talk about, Tim? No, you fed up with the drugs conversation?
Yes.
Do you want to talk about, do you want to talk about Boris Johnson wanting to...
Something more happy, please.
More happy?
More happy, yeah.
Are drugs happy, though?
Debatable. Let's find a happy topic.
Okay.
I don't know what, though. Any suggestions, guys?
Are there anyone got any happy topics?
Sadness?
Sadness?
I don't know, like, the opposite of sadness. And
so, like, melancholy. Have you got any happy subjects for us to talk about? What have you got there? Like a spaghetti bolognese?
that should make you happy.
There we go. Is that for you? There we go. Look, you've just been given spaghetti bolognese.
No, you say.
No, what? No, I didn't say anything.
Yeah. You said. Yeah, does bolognese make you happy?
Lovely.
That's the bolognese boy.
There you go, you've got bolognese. Are you feeling happy?
I'm good. I'm really good.
Does that make you feel a bit more happy? Okay, we've been challenged by Tim
She'll be highly
to
offended.
come up with something a bit more happy as a subject. Come and have a seat on the table of chat. This is Talkaoke. Hello. We've got Oscar, we've got GQ, we have got Simona and Rick and Salim and Loretta and Tim. You go recharge. So you've attempted to make Tim a bit more happy with this bolognese.
Yeah,
It's
you
failed.
don't want
It's failed.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Tim.
Okay. But I mean, what? Are you happier? Are you happier? Are you happier that you've been offered it?
Yes, I'm so excited. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. Oscar, have you got? I know you've just come and sat down. Have you got any happy subjects? So far, the only suggestion for a happy subject is GQ's suggestion of sadness as a happy subject.
What I'm thinking is that if you've got a comparison of what really makes you sad, then you know, even small things can make you really happy, like a pint. You know.
Okay. Yeah.
Doom metal, which is quite
Doom metal.
Does
that
heavy
make
and
you
sad.
happy?
But it does make me happy to listen to it. But the lyrics can be quite depressing. But it's
Okay.
quite quite happy listening
Give
to
us
it.
an example. I mean,
I'm not going to do
bear
that.
in mind there's some children walking behind. Kids, do you listen to doom metal? Do you know what it is? No. Yeah.
All you really need is love, and what you find when you listen to what you find, and you know they actually said that all you need is love, and they found there was so on the topic or transitioning from the drug topic to music, which is you find a lot of connection when you go out to shows and you find people who like the same music as you. You find love, you find connection, and they did a test with rats in a lab, and the rats
they paid doom metal.
No, they didn't pay doom metal, but the rats they put cocaine in the water, and they did a test, and the rats would rather choose.
Did they get ratty?
Well, they would rather choose connection with other rats. They basically people use drugs to fill in a gap with a lack of human connection, a lack of love. All you need is love. You find people who go to raves or death metal shows or all that, and they find people who have the same thing as them. They find human connection. They find platonic love.
Okay, so music in a way is what you're saying makes people happy, and it's not the actual music; it's the connection between people that makes people happy.
Similarities between human beings and rats. It's funny how we always learn as human beings from rats.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
Do they learn from
God
us?
damn it! Like, whoa, that's.
Yeah.
I know it's not legal yet. I know.
But surely that cocaine should not have been wasted on rats. I think that's the point you're making, isn't it? Yeah.
What is making you happy is a peace.
Peace?
Yeah.
Is that what makes you happier?
Yeah. Day about day, that what you can do, what you cannot do, you cannot do with it.
So peace makes you happy.
Yeah.
Molly, what makes you happy?
And what you thinking that your life is a fuck, miserable, and can't and shit. You know people worse than you. Just look at it and say, oh, my life's not bad.
Okay, so it's
People worse
back
than
to
me.
the GQ point that it's actually the other people's suffering makes you happy in a way.
No, it's not make you happy. You
Yeah.
know, he make your life easy. You know that.
Yeah.
They got more than on you complaining it.
Appreciating what you've got.
Yeah, appreciate what you got.
Other people suffering is.
Yeah, other people suffering. I'm just looking and say, oh, I'm not. That people more than me suffering it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Oscar.
Seeing falling politicians, corrupted politicians, made me happy. Makes me happy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can it be any politician, or is it particular politicians?
Well, any corrupted one, which is just trying to amass funds for him and his whatever.
His cronies.
I
believe is the word you're looking. I'm guessing is the word you're looking for.
Maybe I don't know this word. I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Love's a universal. There's certain things that food, music, sex. Those are things that can bring together anybody of any religion, race, creed, language.
Yeah.
If you could literally not speak the same language, but you listen like I like this song like this, and you're connected. Like good food. You're like good food is good food, regardless of like where you grew up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, right. It's like there's certain things.
Yeah, but I mean, is every single person attracted to that?
I don't know, dude. Different strokes for different folks, right?
Okay. Well, I mean, let's.
Exception. I have a friend who doesn't eat. I mean, well, he kind of eats, but he eats a lot before he goes to bed, and then he wakes up. He doesn't eat breakfast.
Yeah.
He doesn't eat dinner, and then supper. He's like a pig, and then goes to bed. And when I offer him every time he comes round to my place, I'm like, you want a biscuit? You want a this? You want a that? And he goes like, you know, I don't eat.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't like food. I don't like eating.
He doesn't like food. Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe maybe. Yeah.
He doesn't smoke. He drinks like a fish, but he doesn't smoke.
Okay. So not everybody likes eating. Maybe we could draw the same things with the other. The other stimulants that Salim was talking about. Was there a point here?
No.
No. I saw a raised hand. Was it you?
Mine.
It wasn't me, man.
No. Okay. So, I mean, where do we want to go with this? Do we want to talk about this thing? What connects people? The music? Loretta, you wanted to say something? No?
I mean, sense of belonging, and that's why politicians take advantage of people and be like, in the United States it's really bad. Like, I'm a Republican or I'm a Democrat. Like, you're a rational, free-thinking human being. Like, you're not this. Like, people have this identity. Like, I'm this political organization or partisan thing. It's like, what? Why aren't you just you?
So you're taking advantage of someone. What we're actually really after is this sense of belonging. Be it the food.
We're here. We have a community.
Yeah.
We're right here. What are we doing? Like.
Yeah. Well, I'm doing my best anyway. Anyway. I mean. Well.
Aren't we all? That's all we're trying to do.
Are we just looking for the sense of belonging? Oscar, are you looking for a sense of belonging?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I want people to love me.
Yeah.
I want to feel accepted and loved.
Yeah.
We're all. That's the one thing. Is we all need to talk to each other more. It's like we're all like, fuck nationalism. All that's like we're all just people, right? It's like shit. Like that's what we're doing. Like.
You didn't even know each other, right? Before joining this table, and it just worked.
I mean, it is true. I mean, I feel there are people from many different countries here as well.
No, we're all from London. We're all from London, right?
Yeah, okay.
I'm just kidding.
Well, I live here now, but it's like I'm from like the United States. I'm from Virginia. It's like in the United States. Yeah, I'm from the United States. Yeah.
There you go.
Just kidding. You mentioned it.
That's okay. Yeah. Asha.
For people wanna you fall in love. I know somebody wanna people laugh in him, and people do that. First place you start with yourself. Love yourself. When you love yourself.
Yeah. Does it have to start with loving yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
You can feel it.
Okay. Well, this is actually a very controversial topic a few Talkaokes ago.
Yeah.
Because not everyone agreed with this this idea that you have to love yourself first before other people.
You not receive love until you love yourself.
Okay.
No, I think you can also find someone that can help you love yourself. You can not love yourself, and then you can find someone that helps you.
Yeah.
I mean, you might be able.
Hang on, Simone.
You might be able to find someone who would help you understand and love yourself, but you shouldn't expect that. No. That's your own responsibility.
Do you agree with this conjecture? Do you need to love yourself first before other people love you?
I think you need to kind of know and accept yourself for what you are.
Yeah.
Before you can expect other people to do that for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Guys, appreciating the mural, I know, but do you need to love yourself before you love others? That's what we're talking about. Yeah.
That's very profound.
Well, welcome to Talkaoke. I mean, what? We can get more chairs. Don't worry about that. Yeah.
I think people work as a mirror for oneself. So if you hate yourself, then you will sort of have this reflection in others. Or if you love yourself, that helps, like you said, and therefore you will draw people in.
Yeah. So it's not necessarily a given, but it helps to draw other people in. If that self-love will draw other people in. We've got a new face at the table. What's his name? Matthew. We got Oscar. We got Asha, we got Tim, got Celine, who's getting another drink. I'm doing this all in a complete. Come have a seat. Yes, you can. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. You don't have to say anything if you don't. You don't have to say anything. We've got. Okay, now I've done it all out of order now. So we've got Tim, we've got Asha, we've got Matthew, we've got Oscar, we've got GQ, we've got Simona, Loretta, and Tim.
Hi.
Hello.
Yes.
Well, did you want to say something?
So.
Yeah.
Hello.
I feel I love developing here tonight.
I'll give him back.
My man. So, love yourself. It's not always good, depending on the person.
Yeah.
So, how can I explain this? In the last years, let's say someone is obese, right? You know.
Yeah.
It's unhealthy to love themselves, so you cannot tell them to love themselves because it's wrong to be like that.
Yeah. So you think a fat person can't love themselves? Is that what you're saying?
No. You are putting words on my mind like in terribly way.
Yeah.
No, they can love themselves as a person, you know, the personality, but sometimes, right, like from a health perspective, they shouldn't. They should try to improve.
Right.
I'm not talking about just obese. It's just the first example that comes on my mind, right?
Yeah.
Like, let's say, an addict of some kind.
So it's about understanding the flaws you've got and wanting to improve.
Exactly, but you cannot you cannot tell to such a flawed person to love themselves because they will continue that unhealthy way, and it will destroy them.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
But just accepting themselves for what they are, that they are in that place, in that moment in their life, and then just start from there. I mean, choose, okay, do I have the resources and the support that I need to be able to make a change in my life? Or, you know, for the time being, I just have to accept, you know, that's what it is, and I just have to deal with taking it one day at a time. And perhaps at one point I will kind of gather the resources to be able to make a change.
So you're saying the starting point could be loving yourself, accepting yourself.
I'm not saying loving yourself. I'm saying accepting yourself for what you are and in that moment in time.
Okay.
I think you're referring to accepting your flaws, but it's different than loving yourself. I do agree with accepting your flaws. That's a good point, right? But not loving yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, but I do agree with I forgot your name. Sorry, Simona. But I do agree with her. Yeah.
Okay. Any thoughts on this, Matthew? I know you've only just joined, but
what are you actually?
It's more about. It's like kind of. Well, it's a whole long story. I'm not going to go all the way back because literally I can't be bothered. But it started off really as about, well, Tim asked for a happy subject, and this is why we're on this subject. I don't know how we could. But it was all about like kind of love and self-acceptance, and that Asha said, if you want other people to love you, you've got to love yourself first, which was controversial. Some people said yes, some people said no.
Why is that controversial?
Yeah, that's my side.
I don't know. Is it controversial?
No, I'd say it's about moderation there. So you have, and so it's just in order to take care of somebody else, you have to know how to take care of yourself first, and then mental fitness and being able to take care of your own psychological well-being is very important. But on the flip side, if you have somebody like my idiot president who loves himself so much, he just loves hearing himself talk. It can be taken to an extreme. But I'd say it's not a yes or no. It's
too much.
Yes, but at the same time, you have people who are so selfless, helping other people makes them happy, but then you can delve into the realm of codependency and only being happy from making other people happy. It's like...
Okay.
I was just sort of thinking, but don't people mean different things when they talk about love?
Okay.
They mean very different things. So if you talked about self-love and that being necessary to love somebody else, it's a very different sort of love. So they don't necessarily equate.
Okay, so it's maybe not the same kind of self-love that Donald Trump has got. Asha, you wanted to say something?
When I say love yourself, I have experience for that.
Yeah.
I was thinking my mom doesn't love me. She loves my mother, my sister.
Yeah.
I come to this country, married man, I don't even know my family give me. I love more than he loves me. If we finish that, I bring focus myself. Last year, I have go through life, whatever is go through, but I bring my kids my own. And they say I didn't good that one. But I think in the last year, who's thinking about Asha?
Yeah.
Who's care about Asha?
Yeah.
Then I said to him, I need to look after myself now. I need to start for myself first. I'm not first yet. My kids coming first.
Yeah.
But I look deep down, saying, think about Asha, nobody else.
So I guess what you're saying is that you only recently started to prioritize yourself.
Yeah.
You've always been putting it out there.
Out there, other people, under everybody else, and my kids are my everybody else. And I was thinking, one day I just look at myself saying, who care about you? Who loves you? put yourself first.
Yeah.
But I'm not step first. Put myself first. My kids coming first.
Yeah. So your kids still come first before
They come first, but I'll be started selfish, be saying it. I do whatever I want to do with it. Make me selfish. Love myself. Think about myself more than I think about a long time ago.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess learning to prioritize yourself and love yourself. Do you need to love yourself before loving others? That's what we're talking about at the moment. Any thoughts? This side of the table? Anything? Do you need to love yourself first before?
I think it's interesting that what Asher said about selfishness, in that selfishness sort of makes you think that you're making a decision that maybe excludes other people. So, but I think there has to be a degree of selfishness if you're going to keep breathing.
Okay, so breathing itself is a kind of of
Yeah, you're taking air from other people. You have to eat. So on and so forth.
Okay, so we have to be selfish just to survive, and maybe the self-love is part of that survival practice.
Yeah, I would use that comparison to having energy in you. If you don't have energy, you can't share it with people. So love equals energy in a way, the divine energy, if you like. So if you're strong yourself, then you can help others. If you're struggling, then you will draw others. Even if you have a good will towards the others, then you might end up just drawing them into whatever, a quicksand.
Okay, so you're drawing people down, bringing people up. There's a certain amount of necessary selfishness. Agreement on this side? Disagreement? Simona, GQ, any thoughts on this?
I suppose it depends how you define selfishness. I was just thinking about that now, because to me, just kind of taking in what you need to take in order to kind of, survive first of all, and then be the version of to be a good version, the best version, not best version, but to be a
better version of yourself.
Yeah, a better version of yourself. It doesn't sound like to me that's not selfishness. It's just what needs to be done.
Yeah, so I guess there's different levels of selfishness.
I would say that if you do that in a detriment, and then your actions are detrimental to other people, knowingly detrimental to other people, then for me that would come to selfishness. But otherwise, it would just be life, really.
So self-love is only selfishness once it becomes detrimental to other people, perhaps.
Yeah, knowingly detrimental, because it might affect other people in a bad way. But if you're not aware of that, then.
I don't have any children yet, but once you have children, it stops being about you. It's about them. But imagine if you're somebody who throughout your life and this is like a weird codependency thing, where if you're codependent on other people to bring you happiness, if helping other people makes you happy and you have children, but then you're so busy still going out there and you're helping other people and you neglect your children, that's still a problem right there. If you have the need to find happiness externally and you're helping people, and in your mind you're like, I am doing what's right, this is what makes me happy, I'm helping other people, but then you neglect your family, that's still wrong. There's no black and white. It's it's a very complicated question, I think.
Okay, it is a complicated question. It's a tough question. Yeah.
So on that note, happiness comes and goes, and I think it's a hard work to be happy. It is to work hard on yourself.
Okay, so happiness isn't something that just is there and stays there. It appears.
Well, happiness is different for everyone, right? For me, it's different. For Oscar, it's different. For Salim, it's different. For Simona, it's different. For everyone, it's different.
Okay.
Agree on the same subject, but saying that, I'm sorry, guys. We kind of had to go a while back.
Oh, hang on. Give us a sit down. Give us a final thought.
Cool. Great idea to have this round table. I'm sorry you're not more popular on the social media. I think you should fight for that. That's a good thing. This is really cool, right? How did you even end up here today?
Well, our studio is just across the road next to.
Studio. What kind of studio?
We just organised Talkaoke. We go around in a van. You can find us. We didn't bring our cars with us, but with the People Speak, you can find us wherever there is chat needed, basically.
Wait, what's your Instagram name?
What was it again, Rick? _ People Speak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a better one, right? Listen to this, like.
Yeah.
Round Table. Knights of the Round Table.
Knights of the
Arthur.
Round Table.
You know, the legend of Arthur. Come on.
Okay, well,
famous. I'm just saying. Just saying.
Yeah.
You've been doing it for a while.
Since before social media, anyway.
Okay, so nonetheless, it's a great initiative. Like I just felt like joining, even though I didn't even know what.
Each other before, like, does everyone know each other except for?
I just heard the marijuana word.
So you were just walking by.
There's a few. I think half the people here have been to Talkaoke before.
God
So
damn
and
it.
we got to know these people. Oscar, in fact, is gonna have a go in the middle of the table. Maybe I know you're just about to go, but maybe give him 5 minutes so that he's got some people to talk to.
I see.
And we'll get some other. Give him another 5 minutes. Let's get Oscar in the middle of the table. Come on, let's do it. But while we've got the people, and then we can use like emotional blackmail to keep them here for another 5 minutes. Thank you.
I'll take it.
Okay, so let's give Oscar a big round of applause. And this is his first time ever in the middle of the table. Just maybe get some names to begin with, and then just ask people what they want to talk about. Go from there.
Okay.
There we go. Stick that in your pocket. Have you got one? There we go. Cool.
Okay, so welcome to the round table, Knights table, round Knights. Okay, so as Mikey just said, this is my very first time in a hall, and hopefully not the last one. So my main concern, by the way, is to remember people's name. Everything else should go hopefully smoothly. We will talk about that. I guess this is a requirement of the round table. But I'm happy to throw names if I remember. But then I'm terrible with names. But maybe I will learn through this experience. Anyway, so we've been talking about love. We've been talking about what makes us happy. Any questions? Actually, not questions. Anything you can? Any answers on that? I just need to get my not only head around, but
that's not a good start.
Yeah. Okay, there we go. Mikey.
Well, one of the things is that when in the middle, as I uttered the odd opinion, but I can't give my opinion. But now I'm on the outside, I can. I have to say, I don't really believe in happiness. I do believe that people are happy, but I don't think it's necessarily a particularly useful goal to be happy. Because people are not interested in it; they're interested in other stuff.
Okay, what sort of stuff do you think?
No, just achieving things, experiences. It's not about being happy, really. It's about more like a varied, stimulating lifestyle.
Do you think?
You go first, ladies first.
Sorry, just quickly. I agree with that, but I think in a way that they equate happiness to those things, and I think at the moment we have such a kind of skewed idea of happiness that we're just kind of being fed those ideas that happiness means success, money, having like, I don't know, the kind of whatever happiness looks like in the society that we live in.
So happiness, if you try to treat happiness like it's some sort of I'm going to cross the finish line and I'm happy, never will happen. Now, you got to find certain things. Happiness is it's like brushing your teeth. You can't just brush your teeth once and then your teeth are fine. It's a constant thing you have to do every day. You got to find certain things that make you happy. That's how you keep yourself stable. It's not like it's like love. It's not like it's something that you're not just like I have a girlfriend, I have a wife, I just quit. It's like it's a constant thing every day. You got to figure out some way to exercise it. It's just like your muscles. It's like happiness is not I crossed the finish line, I'm there. It's a constant thing.
Okay.
I disagree. So I think it is a line you can, like you say, you can brush your teeth, but when you achieve it, you need to maintain it. So you need to keep brushing your teeth every time, every day, right? So, but it is a line that you can reach. It is a goal that you can actually reach and pass. but you just need to continue doing the same thing to maintain it.
The idea, but that would imply the idea that there's a recipe or like certain steps that you need to kind of do or like reach in order to achieve happiness, whereas that's not, in my opinion at least, that's not really the case.
Sorry, but as I said before, happiness is different for every person. My happiness is different than yours and than his or than anyone else. So if it's my recipe, it's not the same as your recipe.
Okay, Asha?
What you call happiness is you should start with yourself and your family and everybody around with you. What is making you happy? You can make other people happy, but makes yourself happy again. And your relationship, what you talk about, the girlfriend, you need work. It's like just life. What is making you happy? What is make you happy? It is do both of them. Sometimes people taking it, I think about the other people's happiness, not think about my one. It is when you not think about your happiness and what you want today, it is how you just disappear and you just think about what this person wants, what this person. You lost it the world. But you need to think about relationships, 50-50 what they say life. Is work hard and think about what other person wants and what you want to say yourself.
Okay. Mikey, you wanted to add to that?
No, so in the middle you got to sum up as well. So where are we going with this conversation?
Exactly. Okay. So
I tend to agree with Mikey to some extent that happiness isn't necessary. Is that what you said? Was that the word you used, or doesn't?
Well, I mean, for me, it's not really a motive. Like I got up in the morning. I made breakfast not because I thought it would make me happy, but because I needed to eat, and then I got to the studio, not because I thought it would make me happy. Then I sat. It did, I did have happiness along the way. Cycling here, I was very happy, but I didn't do any of these things in order to make me happy.
So maybe, Mike, happiness is happiness overrated then?
Definitely, yeah.
My thing is, do you think at a point you have taken a decision? Like cycling, that will make me happy. And now you just no longer realize it, but you're still doing it. Like the studio, you're going into the studio because at a point you made a decision that would make you happy. Do you think that's why you're doing the things you're doing today?
So we heard family, we had sex, we had goals.
You don't really make decisions every day based on making yourself happy. Most of it is the necessities of getting through the day to some extent, isn't it? So you sort of the happiness is very often a sort of byproduct even of of your existence. So happiness is very difficult to find. It's very elusive, and I think the harder you try to be happy, the more difficult it is.
Is happiness
I just think we take some decisions like the job or like the field that you're working in and so on, like going to a studio. It's a decision that you've made at a point because you thought that would make you feel better, not necessarily happier, but you think, this is good for me, and just by trying to accomplish that, I think that's how you kind of reach a more fulfilling life, or like just a more satisfying life, or whatever you think, like accomplish life.
Is too much happiness good for you, do you think?
So should we just say that it's not necessarily about happiness, but about contentment with the decisions that you've made throughout your life, or that you're making, and you're just content with them, or to me that's...
So you know what the absolute, which I find amazing, the absolute beauty of this is I cannot tell any of you that your opinion on what happiness is wrong. That's the thing, is that what makes you happy, none of us are wrong. We're all right. It's this weird thing that happiness is not a tangible thing where it's like, that's what it is, I got it. It's like, it's different for everybody.
It's different for everybody,
I cannot tell any of you that you're right or wrong. It's just like, it's so different for everybody.
Okay, so yeah, we had that point a few times already, that happiness is very different for each person.
I mean, I like that idea. It's a byproduct. I think that's a good way of putting it. It's a byproduct. It's a very beneficial. I'm not saying, I like to be happy, don't get me wrong, but it's really a byproduct of I think if there wasn't some struggle and some difficulty. Come on, have a seat. Let's have a round of applause for this person here. And you need to.
What's your name?
OMG.
G. Grab a seat. Welcome, G.
J.
So now round of introduction, which the names
So
I
we've
don't
got Celine,
remember.
we've got Loretta, we've got Tim,
Okay.
we've got Matthew, we have got GQ and Mikey.
Excellent, and I'm Oscar. Welcome. We're talking about happiness, and what makes you happy? Is happiness overrated? Is happiness something else for different people? What's your opinion on happiness? Do you want to think about that for a while longer? You guys want to add something to that overrated happiness and happiness coming and going, being elusive?
Okay, you say that happiness is a byproduct, but I think it's the opposite. Everything you do, you don't really realize, small or big, it actually contributes to you being happy. You just don't realize it. Waking up, eating, breathing, everything contributes to that goal unconsciously, I think.
So hard work in a way.
You know what is funny? You're saying it is a byproduct. Let's get down to the human brain. So endorphins and oxytocin is what makes you happy, and whatever you're doing that gets that chemical response, because your body works off of hormones and small electrical impulses. So whatever you're doing that gets your endorphin rush, oxytocin even goes back to why do people do drugs? It gets endorphins. It's all whatever gets those endorphins going in your brain, just do it.
Cool, very scientific approach. I like that. Do you want to add something?
Well, I just want to add the dopamine and the serotonin into that as well. Dopamine as well. These are all things, but in a way that they're different stimulators in our brain which give us a different feeling, but they're all possibly associated with happiness, all four of those things.
So is happiness purely chemical, you reckon? You have any other opinion on this one? Is happiness just a chemical reaction process in your body, in your brain?
I mean, I think all the sensations, the feelings we have are the result of chemical reactions in your brain. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
But I think there's a conceptual element to it as well. It's not just chemical. It's like the ideas, the stories that we tell is really important. Like, for example, when I went to see West Ham play the FA Cup final in 2006, and there's a whole story behind that match. It's not just the 90 minutes of football, it's the 26 years of hurt beforehand where they hadn't won anything. I've been supporting them since I was a boy. All these stories just add up into this experience of this. In fact, 2 West Ham supporters died during that game of heart attacks because it was too much for them. And it wasn't just the game, it was the whole story behind the game, which was so powerful. So that I think the story element and the conceptual element is just as important as the chemical side. It's not just like, this thing's going through, but it somehow builds up, and
So it's a bigger picture.
It's a bigger picture, I think. I think there's a conceptual and narrative side to this as well as just the chemicals.
Okay.
You haven't even done anything for it, and it just made you happy.
Do you think we could be just purely happy on its own without any stimulants?
Well, it's family stuff.
Family.
Happy with family. Happy with work. Happy with all sorts of things. Yeah. Doesn't need to be.
Isn't it just being content or
content?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Satisfied.
Okay. Hi there. Do you want to join the table?
Maybe in a bit.
Okay. Thank you. So, happiness and happiness. Where are we at? It feels like this topic has been explored fairly well.
We kind of moved on a little bit to this idea about there's a couple of ways, and you might want to ask the audience which way they want to go. Do they want to start talking about are we just a walking chemistry sets or they could go in that direction, or we could talk about this thing about stories. Are we about the stories that we tell ourselves that, and it comes back to some of the questions about identity. It's kind of up to the people to decide. Get a final thought from these people before you go.
Quick final thought on happiness.
It's very elusive.
It's very elusive. Okay, excellent. Thank you very much.
This is a question that we as human beings have been trying to answer for thousands of years. Have we gotten it? Nope.
Okay. Maybe we did, and we kind of coming in and out from happiness all the time. We haven't heard much from you. Do you have any thoughts on? Do you agree or disagree with anything which has been said?
Well, it's an interesting point about happiness being a byproduct. I think that's true, and people who strive for happiness with ill-gotten gains is sometimes a bit of a problem, I think.
Okay, so striving for happiness, it might not be the most direct route, not the best one. Mm-hmm.
I think, it comes back to this question of stories, and like, if you've got this goal, this story behind your, behind your life, that, you're here for a reason and you're here to achieve something, and it's going to be hard work. That's a big story, and that's really important to people and their identity. It's not necessarily about happiness. It's about, say for example, I don't know, I was some kind of crusader or missionary or something like that. I've got this story that I've got to spread the words of Jesus Christ, and this is my goal in life, and that becomes more important than anything else. I mean, in my case, it's probably I've got to spread the word of Talkaoke.
Yeah.
And that's my goal. Even if I struggle and I find it hard, and and I carry this table through through hell and high water to get people talking.
I like
that. But their story is much more important than whether I'm happy pushing this Talkaoke table down the street.
Okay, thank you. So we have a new.
Sorry, man. I had to wait for the Amazon guy.
That's all right. What's your name?
Chris. Nice to meet you.
Chris.
Chris. Nice to meet you.
So welcome, Chris. And just if we remind our names to Chris.
Tim.
Loretta.
Salim.
Mikey.
Simona.
And Simona. And my name is Oscar. So we've been.
The cameraman.
Oh yes.
Cameraman.
And the cameraman from Cameroon. Yeah, soldier of God. So we've been talking for the past hour at least about happiness, what makes us happy. Is happiness real? Is happiness easy to achieve? Is happiness just a chemical reaction in our body? What is happiness? What makes you happy? Can you elaborate on that?
So we're starting with the light-hearted topic. Easy to knock off. Yeah. All right. Well, it's all of the above, isn't it? It's got 4 different pleasure centers in the brain for chemical reactions, but I think it's also a state of mind within that comes from the person as kind of like from their own soul and their personality and their character. I think the two things have to coexist. There's a chemical world, and then there's also loads of bits about the brain we don't understand about what gives us not just pleasure from a chemical reaction, but well-being and pleasure on a day-to-day basis.
Okay, Mikey.
Like, let's take for example Greta Thunberg. The little girl from Sweden
with Asperger's.
Yeah, and like right now she's on a big high. Well, she's not necessarily happy, but she's like in the media spotlight. She's struggling to get carbon, emissions down globally, and it's this whole big thing. But what would happen if she actually achieved that? And therefore, we've got to listen to Greta Thunberg. Let's cut our carbon emissions by 80%. She would be lost. She would have nowhere to go, because she would have done what she needed to do, and then she would be really at a loose end.
But maybe she would make lots of people happy.
Maybe for sure. I mean, I think she makes me happy now, because I think she's. Come and have a seat on the table to chat.
Okay, so you wanted to add something?
Sorry, who's Greta?
She's this environmentalist. She's this activist. No? Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, I'm just a new guy.
Okay, who's Greta?
Am I fired?
I don't know.
Who's Greta?
Very good job.
Okay, so no facts.
No, not from you.
Oh, not from me. Okay, anyone knows who's Greta? Anyone can introduce Greta to Tim?
No. I try, honestly, I haven't paid attention to the news that much.
Okay,
like that,
you know Greta?
I stay away from a lot of that.
Have you heard of her?
read a couple of articles. So she's basically a Swedish schoolgirl. I'm not sure how old she is. She's like 15, 16, something like that. She's got Asperger's syndrome, and she's very vocal and very active, asking for for governments around the world to take action against global warming.
For the betterment of the world, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Question. How do you know that asking all these questions, all the governments, does not make her happy? Maybe she wants to do that, right? Okay. Let's take another approach. Let's say you're homeless, right? Someone gives you £5. It would be the happiest day of your fucking life, right? It makes you happy, right? But that Greta, right? As I said before, the happiness is different for everyone. But let's say that Greta, she's sick, rip, and she's asking all these governments for. Sorry, not sick, but she has Asperger's syndrome. Sorry, I miss something else on my mind. Sorry, apologies. Okay, and she's doing all that stuff. Maybe that stuff is what makes her happy. You don't know that until you ask her. Maybe this is what she really wants to do.
True. Yes, we can't really know what makes someone's happy. We already established that happiness is different for everyone.
It's an extremely intriguing topic you bring up right there, where you see these people in the news and celebrities and whatever. I've never met these people. I have no idea. There's so many people like, oh, well, this person's this on the news, this celebrity, that's like, you've never met them. I've never met these people. I could never give an educated opinion on what they do and don't like. All I'm seeing is through a freaking straw. And it's like, oh, on the news, it's like, oh, this. Like, I have no idea. I've never met them.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Do you think? Yeah.
No, but that's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying to him. Is that it is making her happy, but if she actually, if the government listened to her and they did reduce their carbon emissions, said, right, we're going to make a new law. Everyone, no more carbon dioxide goes into the atmosphere. And she achieved what she needed to achieve, she would be at a loose end. She would be lost, because it's the struggle that's making her happy, not achieving the result of zero emissions.
Hard work, and the struggle, the journey. What makes us happy, not the final goal.
Yeah, I mean, luckily in her case, she's onto a bit of a loser. But because that's never going to happen, so she can keep doing that for the rest of her life. But if it was a more easily achievable goal, say she just said, right, I want, Donald Trump to do more tweets, and then she would be done. And then where would she be? She'd be lost.
Welcome to our table. My name is Oscar. What's your name?
My name's Ian.
Ian, welcome, Ian. So, quick introduction.
Hi, Chris.
Chris.
Tim.
Loretta.
Simona.
GQ.
And GQ and Mikey.
GQ, what a great name.
Okay, so welcome. We are talking about happiness.
Yes. I'll go sit round there. We can remove this chair.
I'm gonna have to make a move. It's been lovely.
Nice meeting you. Nice to meet you. Thank you very much for your input.
We need a final thought. When somebody leaves, you need a final thought. Oscar, final thought.
Okay, very quick final thoughts.
It's been lovely meeting you all.
It's been lovely. Were you happy? Did it make you happy?
It was interesting and exciting. Scary at first, but warmed up to it.
Did you feel happy?
I would call this a happy accident. This actually made me happy, and it's not something I planned.
Okay.
The things you do, like decision to come over here and just happen to be cool.
Fantastic.
This made me happy too, because I feel a sense of connection with people in my neighborhood.
Fantastic. Okay, thank you for joining. Okay, have a good evening. Okay, welcome to the table. My name is Oscar. What's your name?
My name's Mandy. Hello.
Mandy. Hello, Mandy. We have Chris. We have Tim. We have Loretta. And
we have Ian.
Ian. Welcome. So we've been talking, for the new people, we've been talking about happiness. What makes us happy? Is happiness elusive? Is happiness a real thing? What's your take on that topic?
I did a work-life balance thing once, and one of the things they asked was write down the things that you like doing. Okay, so it said write 10 things down, and I could only think of 5. And then it said, when was the last time you did them? I couldn't remember. I stopped doing the things that I enjoyed through things like work and things like that. So yeah, I think happiness is doing the things that you enjoy doing, making the time to do them, and having that work-life balance, and also a sense of achievement and contribution, like our friend there said about feeling connected to your community, that kind of thing. I think that's very important, because a lot of things that happen nowadays are all about isolation.
Yes.
You know, and if you feel isolated, then your problems remain your own. I mean, my problems, for instance, could be rent, they could be the environment, they could be anything. These are things I should be sharing with my neighbours, because we're all in that particular boat together, regardless of any religion or race or gender or any kind of specific thing that separates us.
That's right.
We all share the same planet, we all share the same rents, we all share the same government, we all share so many things in common that we're not encouraged to talk about, and that's why this is a good thing. That's why I'm sitting here now.
Fantastic. Okay, good answer. So, would you like to add to that?
Yeah, well, about happiness. Yeah, I agree that a lot of it is about people sort of being together. I mean, this is kind of a really nice idea, by the way. I'm a Buddhist, and I get a lot of happiness from my Buddhist practice. I wake up in the morning feeling crap, I have a chant, and I feel much more like going out in the world after having chanted than when I wake up in the morning like, ugh, like that. So that is good for me, personally. I think being grateful for things is a good way to be happy, you know, rather than always grumbling and complaining. And when I mean about grumbling and complaining, I'm not talking about protesting about things that you don't agree with. I'm talking about, you know, like when you get up and you sort of think, oh, that's crap, and just mumble away to yourself, you know, that kind of complaining, rather than actually protesting or speaking out. Is a difference. I think, you know, with protesting and speaking out, if something you don't like can make you happy because, you know, rather than keeping it into yourself, you know.
Okay,
yeah.
Interesting, because we had this, to summarize a little bit, we had this happiness coming from the feel of community and being with other people, sharing things. And then what you said is more about, you know, internalizing things and being on your own and having your own practice.
Yeah.
Okay, welcome to the table. My name is Oscar. What's your name?
Danny.
Danny.
Yeah.
Danny. Let's have a quick...
I'm Ian.
Ian.
Loretta.
Tim. Chris.
And Mandy.
And Mandy.
Hello, by the way.
Okay, so we are talking about happiness. What makes us happy, and is happiness just a chemical reaction, or what is happiness? What is it for you?
Solace, really. It's just
Solace.
doing your own thing. If you find a little bit of thing what you like, you're always happy. So a pint of beer will make you happy.
With
Sitting around
friends,
here,
with friends.
or on your own. It depends what happiness. I'm more of a person for on my own than with friends. I like my own company, but that makes you happy. It's how you express yourself can make you happy. What you do makes you happy. Or what you think about. So past, present, and future. So it's that happiness determines. Makes it so happiness you can't describe really. It's what you feel.
Yeah, that's super interesting, because again, some people say we already established that happiness is something very different for each person, and we get so many new answers now.
And there's levels of happiness as well.
There are levels of happiness.
There is level of happiness. The top there is you're right on top of the happiness, and then so nothing can't get you down. And then there's little happiness, like today I'm on top of the world because I just won in the lottery. So
really,
yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, quite a bit as well. So I've already done that in there. But it's something unexpected which gives you that little bit of a boom.
Thrill.
But as soon as happiness comes, happiness can be taken away. So you're living.
Okay, so happiness, we just learned happiness could be something unexpected, or happiness could be something which been building up as a story for years previously.
I have to say, I was sitting next to a lottery winner. Today I got the sack.
Okay.
Well, it's only £133. It don't last long.
Nice.
I talk about my wages.
Okay.
£133.
Okay.
I'm joking.
Nice. So, any elaboration on this one? So,
Okay. So I think what Mandy alluded to is that there's almost like a bit of a process to it, to happiness, to achieve happiness on a daily basis. So, you know, controlling negative thoughts, blocking that stuff out, you know, interrupting them almost, kind of, you know, taking control of them, because otherwise you can kind of be a bit of a passenger and you can't really get to a happy place in the day if you don't kind of interrupt that, you know, those cycles that happen, to anyone and everyone. So I really relate to what you're saying. Actually, I was saying there. Actually, I have a little process, but sometimes we get knocked off that sort of straight linear line towards like to having a good start to a day, to feeling good throughout the day later on. You know, like maybe down to a bit of laziness sometimes. I just don't do my little routine, and then I really suffer for it later on, and I get a bit annoyed.
So laziness can produce unhappiness.
Yeah, because it stops the process. It stops action, and I think action's the key to everything. Like even if it's mental or physical, like if you don't take steps towards your routine of what leads to happiness, then it's not just going to land on your plate unless you get lucky. And I don't know, have something random popping out, like winning the lottery.
Excellent. Welcome to our table. My name is Oscar. What's your name?
Liz.
So, a quick Loretta.
I'm Ian.
Danny. Mikey.
Karen.
Welcome Karen.
Mandy.
And Chris. And my name is Oscar. So we've been talking about happiness for a while now. Right, so what is happiness?
I mean, we sort of moved on a little bit, because now, I think as Chris said, we're talking about like the voices in your head, and then like there's always these negative voices that are saying, you know, like wanting to interpret the random stuff that happens. You know, like you've got a lucky person and an unlucky person, but it's just random. That today he won the lottery, Ian got the sack. You know, but the voices in our head can either tell us, it's just like, I'm going to roll back and I'm going to, tomorrow, or it could be, this is just a flash in the pan. Yeah, you could get the sack tomorrow. Exactly. It's all about how we see it. So it's the voices in our head are telling us all the time whenever I send someone, earlier on I was talking about being addicted to social media. If I send someone a message and they don't message back, I don't think, well, there's two, part of me thinks, they're just busy, they're going to message later. The other bit is they hate me, they're just ghosting me. So, and it's that competing thing, isn't it? It's competing voices in your head.
Happiness be a form of depression as well.
Happiness can be a form of depression.
Yeah, because you have to force yourself to be happy. And if you ain't making yourself be happy, you're making yourself depressed.
Ian, do you have something to add to that?
I don't know. I think you need to be aware of your situation. I think if you can come to terms with where you are and what you can do about it, and be content in that situation. I think I'm never going to be a millionaire. I won't win the lottery.
How do you know?
Because I don't do the lottery.
Oh, okay.
So I'm never going to win that. But I'm at home with that. I'm happy with that. And I think I'm truly blessed. I got married a few years ago, and I have a lovely family. And that's something that 5-10 years ago I wouldn't know that I had. So that's a blessing that I've received. So I know exactly what's happened to me, and I know that it's no reflection on me. I think I don't know. Last night I was at work, and one of the customers swore at me, and nowadays it would probably call verbal abuse. And my first, I used to be working for M&S. So, and I lock up at night, and they get angry when you lock the doors. And so I thought, well, perhaps.
Come and join us.
So I thought perhaps the guy has had a bad day. I work in the city, You know, so he
was unhappy, clearly.
He vented his spleen, he came in, and he got in the end, that was fine. And then when he left, I said, thank you very much, have a nice evening. Which sadly kind of wound him up a bit more. But,
no.
But with me, it's how I treat people. You know, I I'm not actually in the union, although I'm very pro-union, I have to say. But no, I think you have to understand where other people's angers come from. And I don't think he didn't wake up this morning thinking, I'm going to go and abuse that bloke tonight. It just happened that way, and it was a bad situation. So what the hell, if you're at home with your circumstances, if you have faith in yourself and perhaps a goal, then you can take that forward. My life is not going to be greatly affected by the fact that I've lost my job, because I have faith in myself to go forward and perhaps find a better job, or where I'm more appreciated. So at the moment I feel blessed that I have a family that loves me. I have friends, some of which are sitting around this table, and I feel happy about that. Apart from this.
I think we're all blessed in a way, but it's about, in a way, being it's so easy to just think about what we've not got and not what we've got.
Okay, should we be happy with what we have, or should we strive for happiness and for more?
Are you Hare Krishna?
No, I'm not.
Oh.
But I have their style, indeed. Yes.
Yeah, you do have the.
Yes. My name is Oscar. What's your name?
Dave.
Dave. Welcome, Dave. A quick round of reminding the names, please.
Liz.
Liz.
Loretta.
Loretta.
Danny.
Danny.
Mikey.
Karen. Karen.
Karen.
Mandy.
Mandy.
Dave.
And Dave. I'm Oscar. So welcome. We've been talking about many topics, but mainly about happiness. What makes us happy? What is happiness? Anyone want to add anything to what we were just conversing about?
So I read something the other day that said if we did something kind to every person we met, just a nice gesture, everyone in the world would be happy. Because
nice words.
Yeah, because if everyone's going to be kind to at least one person, you're guaranteed to have something kind done for you. So happiness is easily obtained if we all had the right frame of mind.
Is making people happy contributing to make ourselves happy?
I totally agree. As a Buddhist, I totally agree. I had this guidance from a Buddhist leader. It was about chanting a certain amount a day and doing some study, but also make 3 people happy each day. Because 3 people, yeah. Yeah, it was this. We had this thing called a 1, 2, 3 campaign. Yeah,
nice.
Yeah. So and I find that if you kind of make people happy, it does make you feel good. If you make people feel bad, then you end up feeling bad. I think we're all connected with each other.
Karma.
Yeah.
I mean, if that was me, I'm not a Buddhist, but I would carry like a supply of lollipops and sweets because it'd be easier, to get the kids happy with a few sweets and whatever than the people with complex issues and problems.
On that note, can you make me happy and swap over?
Have you had enough in there? Let's get right. Okay.
For now, thank you very much.
Let's give Oscar a big round of applause.
It's been lovely.
So he's done a very good job and given me a good break. I'm quite happy to get back in the middle.